Okay, guys. So today I'm going to show you how you can get your tax planet tax that you create with Power Automate Flow to be able to reflect the priority level that you chose based on the submission of a form or if you did a list on SharePoint. Like for instance, if you had a flow that involves you filling a form, submitting a form, and let's say as part of the answers that you have to submit in the form, there is a question about priority. Maybe most of the time you have a low priority, medium, high, and urgent priority, right? And so this flow that you create, the Power Automate flow that you create, and if you are going to use this flow to create a task plan, a task in Planner in Teams, you expect that when the task is created, the priority section of the task should also reflect the choice that you made whilst you're submitting the forms, right? But most of the time, unfortunately, um, there's no easy way to end, right? Most of the time, it is defaulted to medium, right? And so, but then we expect that if we put in an agent task through the form, if we were filling the forms and we said it is urgent, we expect that when the task is created, it should tell us urgent so that we will know how important the task is so that we can accordingly work on it so that we don't miss our deadlines, right? But um, currently, Power Automate or Microsoft does not give you a straightforward to it. It defaults to the medium. So I'm going to show you how you can go around this to make sure that whatever you select on your forms, when the task is created, you it can reflect as it was chosen in the forms or maybe in the list that you created and added it to your flow. So yeah, let's go ahead and then I'll show you quickly how to go about this, right? So let's just take it that you already have your flow created, right? Your Power Automate flow created, right? Let me start from the beginning without the code to let you see how it looks like, right? And so uh, create task. Let's go to your create task and then see what happens without that. And then we're gonna do a submission, and then I'll show you how it works out, right? Mhm. So I've already done it, but I'm gonna take out this so that you and I will start from the beginning, so it will make much more sense to you. So let me remove this create text from here, and so I can show you how it really works. Let me do this again. Uh, let's do this create task. Let's use uh, look for the action create task. We look for create task, and then put it here, and then make sure we put in all the input, right? Opening corporate services, OBI, plan ID, data request, and the title. Personally, I did because I combined a lot of strings, so I had to, the title, I did it with a function. I could have also initiate a variable and then put it there as the title. Let me see if I created a variable, by the way. Let me see. Title. No, I did not create a variable, so let's create it here. Concat. Don't get confused with this one. I've already done the flow with my title. The flow involves SharePoint list and all that. And so with the title, I'm trying to concatenate the title and then make sure I give it a number. So I'm just trying to show you how it's going to look like. So don't be confused with this one. Probably another time we do another lesson on this. So I'm going to do concat. I'm going to go to my dynamic content and look for the answer to the title. So where's the title? Title. Question to the title of the text. Let's do this. Answer to the title. Report title, right? And then I'm going to add a format number to it. I'm going to say format number. I'm going to go to dynamic content and look for the ID of the task in SharePoint, the create item task. And then I'm going to add some zeros to it as well. Then I'll close it. So this is going to be my title. And then let's go down. Let's show all and fill the other things. So bucket ID, we want it to go into the new request bucket. The start date is going to be the date that the task was submitted. And so that's going to be the submission time. It's probably going to be down here, submission time. Submission time is right here. And then the due date, we created a due date time, because normally with a planner task, if you don't create a date, I think it defaults to your due date task is going to default to, it's not going to give you the right due date that you want. It's going to default to a day before the due date that you selected. And so you want to create a due date for the tax. And so here is it that I calculated. I have other videos that I'll show you how to do that as well. So this is a calculated time for the due date. And then we go down. What else do we have here? So let's just say we don't want to fill all these things. Let's make it simple, right? And then let's save it. Okay, so when we save it, we're gonna try to test it, right? Okay, there's something not right here. Update tax details error. Tax ID is required. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and then make sure that we put in the tax ID. I think the tax, because we changed the create tax, the tax ID is also missing. So we're gonna go back and put in the tax ID. Let's go to enter custom so we can find the tax ID. Go to dynamic content. Let's look for, this is the created tax, so let's look for the ID. This is the ID of the tax. Let's put it in. Then try to save it again and see if it's going to work out. Okay. All right. So it's saving. Let's test this and see. I'm going to show you how it works out as opposed to the problem that we're going to solve. And so I've already have some stuff here, so we're going to use this to test it. Let's use this to test it. Or let's go ahead and then use a form to test it so that you can see what we are talking about. That'll be clear. So let's go to the form that we're going to fill for the submission, right? And so it says test. Now it's waiting on us to fill the forms. And so let's suppose this is our form, right? The form has already been done. And so the name of the submitter is, requester name is K, right? Let's say my contact is gonna be make.2 at outlook.com, right? Then request type is going to be new request. It's going to be automated. We want the report frequency to be, let's say, monthly. Title of report, let's say, priority. Let's say task. Let's say task priority testing, right? There's a task. That's the title of the task. Is this going to be used internally? Both. What is the purpose of the request? Purpose to show how to update task priority in planner task flow. Who's the final audience? Me. Let's go ahead and see full description. Yeah, let's say full description. You can put in everything that you want here. We're going to upload any file at all to see how this is going to work out. Say let me upload this file. Okay, that's this because the file has been idle for some time. That's why it's reloading. And so let's try and upload it again. Stuff. So let's go. Due date. Let's make our due date to be 27th. Is this flexible? We say no. Because we're going to change. Is this? Let's put in not applicable. And then we're going to select urgent, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and submit the task and see how if this is going to be successful. So it is running. It is running. It is running. Great. It is running. It's running. Great. It says that. Let's still wait for it. It's still running. It says your flow was successfully run, right? And so everything worked out. It went all the way, and we're able to get a successful flow, right? So let's go into our task that was created and see. Let's see team stats. And then yes, this is 53. So this is the task that we just created. Let's see how it appeared because we chose urgent, right? So we expect that when the task is created in the new request task, it should show urgent here, right? Right here, you expect that it should show urgent, but it is showing what? Medium. And so when this task is assigned to you, unless the person who filled the form or submitted the form calls you, email you, and tell you that it's an urgent priority, you wouldn't know. So you treat it as a medium task, right? But we want to avoid it so that we don't miss deadlines, right? So now I'm going to show you how you will be able to have this place show as urgent or high when you select it based on the selection that you made in the forms when you were submitting the forms, right? Right now, it is defaulted to medium. So if you even selected low, if you selected high, if you selected urgent, if you selected medium, it is going to default into medium. And you don't want that. You want it to show what you selected. Either it is urgent, you want it to show as urgent so that you can use it as that. So I'm going to show you, hold on, I'm going to show you quickly how to go about that. All right. So yeah, so guys, let's see how we can solve this problem. All right. So first of all, let's go back to where we created the item. Sorry, where we created a task, right? So in order for us to be able to see the selection that we made on our form to correspond to, in order for us to be able to see our selection that we made in the priority section in our form to reflect in the task details, we're going to have to change this create task action, right? You see this create as action when you come back all the way down here. it does not give you any option for priority, right? Why? Because we need to choose another one, another action. So let's come here. Let me copy this one so we don't have to go through and do it all over again. So let's copy this. I hope we were able to copy. Normally you are not able to copy it, but that's okay. We can do it. So I'm gonna have to delete this one. Let's delete the create task action. Delete. Let's go back and add a new create action. So let's search for create um, task as action. Now, the first time we chose this one, but this time around, you don't want to choose this one. Look for the one that says preview. Preview means Microsoft is still working on it, right? They have not finished with it, and so but then they have put it out there as a form of trial. And that doesn't mean they're going to take it away because most of these actions that you see that are here went through the same process. Most likely, they are going to leave it there and for it to work after they have done all the trials on it, right? So it's going to be a permanent task there, probably most likely. And so we are going to choose this one that says preview instead. So let's choose that. And then come back and put in all the things that we need to, the inputs that we need to put in. So we're going to be OEI services, tax ID, plan ID. It's going to be that. And then let's see if what I copied work. No, it did. So let's put it in there. Now, come on here and click show all, right? Now, let's put in all the other parameters. Bucket ID is going to be new request. Just like we did, the start time is going to be the time that we submitted it. Submission time. Okay, let's go and pick it myself. We don't want to pick any wrong things. Go all the way down to the answers to that. So that's gonna be the submission time, and then we put in our due date as well, the due date that we created. The due date that we calculated with a variable is gonna be here, calculated time. Let's come all the way to the last one. You see here it says priority. There's a description here, and I want you to look at it very carefully. It says priority of the task, valid range of values between 0 and 10, inclusive, right? With increasing value being lower priority, that is, all has a highest priority, and 10 has the lowest priority. So that means in Planner, values between 0 and 1 are marked as urgent, right? Values between 2 and 3 and 4 are marked as important. Values between 5, 6, and 7 are also marked as medium, and then 8, 9, and 10 are marked as low, right? So you want to be able to write a code that will be able to correspond to what we have in our forms, right? So let's go back to the form again and say submit another task, right? So you want to be able to write a code and put it in the priority section that will be able to correspond to the values that we also have in the priority section of our forms, right? So I'm going to show you something quick that you can do. You don't need to know how to code, right? And so go, if you have ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whatever, right? Go into DeepSeek and write something like this statement, right? And put it in here. Say, can you write a function to put in my input section of initialize variable? This is function for input into the whatever, right? And then put it in here. And then It says, can you write a function to put in the input section of initialized variable? This is a function to be imputed into the priority section in the create task to make sure that the task priority in the planner task is updated based on the answer given on the priority section. The option in the priority question are low, medium, high, and urgent. Then you hit on it. Now, you are going to get this answer. This is it. It says, here's how you can write a functional priority. Add an initialized variable, set the name of a task, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to give you this code, right? So you're going to copy this code. So this code is mapping to the values of how the priority task in your planner defines it, right? And so you're going to copy this. Go into your flow. Come to this section, right? Hit on functions and then paste it in here. Now, we are not done. We have to make sure the values or the outputs in there are the outputs that is in our flow, right? And so it says if equals to, that's the answer, is equal to that, then it's going to be medium. If it is going to be that, it's going to be that, right? And so if you look at it from this part, if equals to, that is a function that is chosen from here, right? But we want to change all the way. We want to come here and then change all the way from here. No, from here, sorry. From here, where it says, where you have the brackets there, right? And so you want to clear this. Be careful that you don't clear anything that you're not supposed to clear. And so you clear this all the way to here, right? And then come to dynamic content. Scroll all the way to the part where you fill the forms, right? The response to the forms. Go all the way to the question where it asks of priority and hit on it, right? Now, that is the urgent part, right? Let's come down to the next section, which is going to be the high, right? And so let's come this way too and take it. You can also decide to code it yourself, right? But I mean, AI makes things easy, right? All the way, come back here and put in priority, right? So the next one, we're gonna go down to high, right? You're gonna from here all the way all the way. I hope we are doing the right thing. Okay. Now let's go to the other one, high, medium. Let's go here. I think we missed it. So let's try and do it again. So you put it in here. And so this is the code that we get from the OpenAI, the question that we asked, right? Now we're going to make sure that we want to replace all these trigger outputs, the outputs, what the outputs in our flow. And so what you want to do, it is telling you if the answer to the question is equals to that, then it's going to be that, right? And so you can write this yourself manually, but of course, AI makes things a little bit easy. So what you're going to do is to come here, delete. This is the answer, right? From this place all the way from this place to that is the answer. You want to delete it because this was written by the AI. It did not take into consideration. It is not. They're not taking into consideration the answer to our form, right? So it was just writing the code for you. But what you want to do is that you want to replace it with answers in your flow. And so from this place all the way here was the answer to that question, right? And so I want to come here, uh, delete what you have here all the way to this place, right? And then come all the way to where the answer for the priority, and then click it, right? So now we have urgent. We're going to go to high. Click here, delete all the way to this place, and then input the answer in your dynamic content. We did a high. Now let's go to, we did a high, right? Now let's go to media. It's gonna be that way, all the way. Let's try and then open this a little bit so that we can see, right? All the way, media, dynamic content, priority, choose it. And then let's do the last one. It's gonna be low. Let's delete this all the way to here and choose our answer priority. Now we're done. Let's save it. And then there we have it, right? So let's save this and then try to test it and see. I'm sure the update task is going to, because we deleted the create task, most of the time it's going to ask you to put in the tax ID over there. So let's come back and put in the tax ID for the update task details. Let's go here and try to get a task ID, put it in here, save it. And we're going to try it again and see how it works out. Now it is saved. Let's try it again. Now let's do an automated test because we already have the form that we filled when we did the first one to show you how it appears in the default. And in that portion, we chose urgent, right? Or let's go back and then put it in again so that you will see. So let's do a manual one again so that you see that whatever we put in there is going to show up. So we're going to do a manual. It's going to say test. And we're going to go back to our form and fill it. Go all the way back and fill our forms. And so let's put in name. Okay. Let's put in the email. Let's put in another email. Email. Let's put in change request. Let's see, it is automated. Let's see, frequency of report. Let's say monthly. Title of report, test, urgent, priority, task. And then, oh, this is both purpose is purpose. Let's put in something there. So you can have done this. Who's the audience is me. Enter full description, say full description. This is just to show us how it works out, so we don't want to waste time to write anything. Then let's put in a file. You can decide not to put in a file. Based on how you design your flow, you can decide to put in a file, not to put in a file. Later, I'll show you how to design the whole thing. And then you see how this whole flow works. But this time, I just wanted to show you about how to get the tax, the planner tax to update with what you input in your form. So let's choose a date of 26, right? Due date. And this is flexible. We made it urgent, so we are saying it's not flexible. Let's put in not applicable here. And then in our priority section, we're going to choose urgent priority. So we expect that when it's created, when a plan tax is created, it's going to show urgent. The last time we chose urgent, but it still showed us the default planner tax one, which is medium. We don't want it to be that because we don't want to mix any urgent tax or high priority tax, right? And so let's go back to our form and submit. And we have chosen urgent. Just watch out for this. So we submit it. And now we're going to go back and see how the flow performed. If it was successful or not. And see if there is something that we missed out that we have to fix. So now it is still running. More likely it's going to be successful. So it's running all the way. I think I can hear my email ding, and so I want to think it was successful, right? But we are watching this. It says flow is still. So now it says flow is successful, right? So everything ran, right? So now let's go back into our tax and then refresh, right? And see how it's gonna show up. Let's see the tax that we have. Let's go into our tax. It's gonna be tax number 54, right? And so let's see how it's gonna come. Yeah, so that's gonna be tax number 54. Let's make sure we refresh this so that we can see it. Because the other one that we did was 53, so we expect it to be tax number 53. Right. And so here we are. Let's go into the tax. This is the tax that you could is that one. And then let's go into it and see how it went down. So yeah, we have 54 here. Now let's go into the tax and see if it really gave us the urgent tax. Voila! So here we see now our priority is showing us urgent, right? And so now we'll be able to know if the tax is urgent and to be able to work on the tax and then prioritize it as urgent so that we don't miss deadlines. And so this is it. It's quite easy, but I see a lot of people online searching for answers, so I decided to do a video about it and show it. So this is how you're gonna do it. This was a short video to show you how you'll be able to update priority tax in your planner. And this is a short video how you can go about it. Thank you very much for watching. And later I'm gonna do a video to show you about this whole flow, right? It's about a data request flow. I'm going to show you how you'll be able to create a list in SharePoint, how I'll be able to create a form, how I'll be able to put together the flow so that when somebody puts in a request, it's going to be able to create a task in Team, send the team emails. It's going to be able to create a list in SharePoint and put in all the updates. And whenever the task is completed, it's going to be able to tell you that it's completed so that you can put it in complete. And now it's going to be able to also send you reminders about the task so that you'll be reminded that you don't mix the text, right? So guys, thank you for joining. If you really like this video, don't forget to hit the like subscription, the like button, and then also subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be bringing you more of such videos. Thank you and have a